Pope plunders 274 in final day draw. More than 1,000 runs have been scored for the loss of just 8 wickets at the Kia Oval so far this week. Surrey were now at the crease, and Ollie Pope was 5 runs away from 100. Chances of a result on this tame surface look slim. It wouldn't be long before Pope was up to 3 figures. Handed some assistance by the fielding, he scampered through for a quick single. Overthrows added 4 more, and he'd gone to 100 off 142. Amla saw one slip through the solitary fielder in the cordon to take the partnership to 150 off 254. And the milestones kept coming. Surrey now up to 400 as Amla pushed one through the covers. It would soon be his turn to raise the bat. The shot similar, the result just 3, but he'd reached his century off 190. There was no stopping them. The surface stayed sedate. Pope continued to take advantage, and before long they'd put on 200 for the 3rd wicket. The bat beaten, but Bice had helped them to the mark, and Surrey now had 450 on the board. It was the Ollie Pope show. He was blessing the Kia Oval crowd with an array of boundaries. He came dancing down the track for his 19th. Salter lifted over the offside to the ropes, and he'd gone to 150 from 207 balls. Little Glamorgan tried could slow them. The milestones kept ticking off. 250 added for the 3rd wicket soon. Then 500 runs were on the board for the hosts. Any faint hopes the visitors had of forcing a win were at an end when Pope clubbed Cook over the leg side for 4, an unlikely follow-on avoided. Before the break, a reverse for 4 from Pope ticked the value of the partnership over to 300 and meant Surrey would head into lunch with more than 550 on the board. Pope now just 6 away from a double 100. Amla had at one time been ahead of Pope before his young colleague accelerated past him, but the South African too had 150 to celebrate, reached off 278 balls with a single off Douthwaite. Pope was straight back in the spotlight though, up to 200 runs off 267 balls. The shot off Douthwaite uppish, but effective. He was really cashing in now and had records in his sights. But after 477 balls and 362 runs, the partnership was finally separated. Amla out-caught as he came down the track to Carlson, an epic knock at an end, with Surrey now trailing by just 63. That brought Ben Folkes to the middle for the first time since May, and he watched on as Pope continued. Surrey's record individual score against Glamorgan matched. He was up to 250 with a single off Salter, but needed 2 more for a new best return in first-class cricket. With the boundary of Carlson, he'd done just that. The England international really making the most of his time in the middle, ahead of a big winter. They were up to 650 before the break, and with a Folkes single, the 4th wicket pair had put on 50 runs. Pope finally fell on the stroke of tea, bowled aiming a big heave over the leg side, out for a majestic 274 off 345 balls. Surrey headed into the break, leading for the first time in the match. That gave Ricky Clark an opportunity to say goodbye to the Kia Oval faithful, emerging after the break as the next man in. His pads guided Surrey to 700 runs, up to the mark for just the 7th time in their history. Folkes, though, was scoring the lion's share of them and had enjoyed his return to action. An 8th 4 took him to 50 off 95 balls. The score would soon be their 3rd highest of all time. Clark took them to that mark with a single off Carlson, and they'd finish on 722. Handshakes shared in the middle, Clark finishing his career not out with 12 after 668 matches as a professional. A poignant moment for the 39-year-old. He was given a guard of honour as he made his way from the playing surface. Both sides had endured difficult seasons, but they'll be happy to share the spoils at the end of a long campaign. They'll regroup and return next year, hoping that they can make their mark at the business end of the table.